Second case study. $500,000 in my family trust, $1 million in my traditional IRA. But now I'm going to compare if I don't convert any, if I convert all of it. So this kind of answers the question, what's the power of making the conversion? Okay. Scenario 1, I don't convert anything to a traditional IRA. Scenario 2, I'm going to convert it all to an IRA. 20-year accumulation period, 20-year distribution period, so it's the same thing. 35% tax rate in both. You pay tax on the conversion of $350,000 from the family trust. Now remember, last it was $175,000. It's $350,000 because I'm converting $1 million this time. So now I'm only left over with $150,000, which is something you've got to consider. I've got $150,000 left over. I can't draw on my IRAs for 5 years, or at least the Roth IRA. Is that $150,000 enough to last me? If it is, fine. If it isn't, then we may not convert it all. We probably aren't going to convert it all anyway, but dialed back the living expenses a little bit, $290,000 per year with 3% inflation. Everybody got that? Now, the investment strategy is the same. So I'm going to invest 8% in, that's my target, and it's the same in both cases. Okay, so we already figured out that it's far more powerful when you put the higher earning returns in the Roth IRA, but we're going to pull that out of this analysis for a moment. At the end of the time period, with no conversion, it's all going to be taxed. With conversion, I have no taxes to pay. So that's obviously scenario 2 is a better from that standpoint, but we need to look at what happened to the trust as well. Well, look at this. We have with no conversion, we have virtually nothing left in the IRA, in the trust. Over here, we have once again almost it's over $4.5 million compared to a little over $2.5 million. That is the power of compounding tax-free. So here's where this is under the second scenario where we aren't putting higher returns in the Roth. They're all 8%. It juices these up significantly if you put 10 or 11% in the Roth and 5 or 6 in the traditional, but let's forget that for a moment. So here's scenario 1 where I haven't had to pay any taxes. Here's scenario 2 where I have had to pay taxes. And this is strictly the trust money. Forget the IRA money for a moment because it ends up the same. You're not paying taxes out of there and it's all growing at 8%. This is growing much quicker than this because I can only invest $150,000. Here I'm investing $500,000 up here. So even though this is only a $350,000 difference on day 1, by the time I get to day 20, it's $1 million difference because of that exact reason. I've got an extra $1 million in my trust if I don't convert. But it doesn't take long until I hit a crossover point here, about 10 years. And that's excluding the benefit of the investment, higher investment in the Roth, et cetera, et cetera. This is just under the normal scenario. I hit a break-even point here. And even if I'm a break-even on my trust, I'm way better off because all the money that I have in my IRA here is a Roth IRA. Under scenario 2, it's a traditional IRA under scenario 1. I've got all those deferred taxes to pay in scenario 1. I've got no taxes to pay in scenario 2. So you can back up the line to where it makes sense even long before that. But it doesn't take long till this makes sense.